Hey everyone, this stock is poised to crush the competition. They're adopting new technology into their business. I'm excited to share with you guys what I've been digging into in this particular stock. I'm checking out their fundamentals and how they do business. Very excited to share with you what I've learned. So let's dive right into it. Why did I pick this stock? This particular company has 30 distinctive software, hardware, and financial service products. The stock has grown over 600% since it began in 2015. It has an app competitors do not have at all. It really has a leg up on the competition. Which stock am I talking about? If you haven't guessed, it's Square. Their ticker symbol is SQ. Here is a page right from their presentation they made to investors not too long ago. You can see from their highlights that they are just crushing it when it comes to revenue, gross profit, and increasing their large seller accounts. They are really nailing it when it comes to gross profit volume or gross purchase volume. You can see that their net income there, they had a sale of their company, part of their business called Caviar. Here's a comparison of the Square stock in relation to the S&P 500. I just like to show this chart because the S&P is such a important metric and benchmark a lot of investors use to gauge a stock's stability and momentum. Now here is a chart of the overall quarterly earnings trends for Square over the past couple of years. You can see that they've done it really well and that they're on pace to keep growing here in the next few quarters. What is Square? It was founded by Jack Dorsey in 2009 and went public in 2015. At the time of this recording, that puts it at just about 5 years old and has really grown a lot since then. Square helps businesses start, run, and grow their business. They changed the way small businesses accept card payments. They were able to capture all their customers and not turn away the ones that just had cash. Their most well-known products are the Square Chip, Reader, and Weebly. Now, the way Square gets their revenue is through several different segments. The first is transaction fees. Next is subscriptions. Next is hardware. And then loans. Square Capital is where they're able to lend people money when they get into a pinch. Let's dive into a few trends and just see what the health of Square is when it comes to the different metrics. Here's a revenue chart for Square since they began. You can see that this is quite a healthy upward trend for revenue. And you can see at the bottom there with the green bars that year over year they are growing very, very quickly. Here's a chart of net income, and you can see that over the years they struggled to actually make above zero. It's not until just a few quarters ago that they actually started seeing returns and able to actually have money left over after everything is said and done. So this is just a very pivotal moment right now in history for them in the year 2020, and that investors are very excited about this particular company. Gross margin is another very important metric to see and to find out how much it actually costs to produce a product compared to how much they sell it for. And you can see here that they've done very well. 40% gross margin, not too shabby. Now here's a chart I pulled up from Zacks.com, and you can see that this is a earnings per share trend, and you can see it's just gone really up and then a steady climb upwards. So investors are very happy about the return of money per share. Square's hardware is very simple to set up, use, and manage. Their interface is very easy to use and understand, and people like how the data is displayed. Square's Capital makes it very easy within their apps and software to see whether they're able to have money come in temporarily if they get into a pinch, and then pay Square back with each new transaction they get. So it's just kind of a nifty way to pay back that loan if they actually need some extra capital, and Square has been a really good driver in being able to help businesses do that. And so they're able to gauge the health of the business they loan money to and see all the data of all the card swipes that's going on. Square also has, like I mentioned before, software and services that they're able to help businesses with, and they're able to help with payroll, invoicing, and with the money management part of the business. Ecosystem. They've made it very simple for an entrepreneur or an established small company like a restaurant be able to really manage the financials and really be able to allow them to focus on what's important within their business and not have to worry about the not so fun part of money. Now, you might have heard a lot of negative things about Square. Yes, it's true that they're losing a small percentage on each transaction card swipe that happens. Some of their competitors like Visa and MasterCard, they charge more for every card swipe that happens. Square feels like they're able to get a leg up on the competition and undercut the bigger players by being able to take a loss in this area and be able to excel in other areas. So they're really reshaping the payment sector. It's true that Square doesn't quite have the volume of large merchants that are having a high volume of transactions going on. Now, here's a chart of the competitors and the fees they charge, and you can see that almost all of them have lower transaction fees than Square. But, like again, Square is able to compensate for that in other areas and really excel and help the business owner. So we'll have to see what happens. Here's a larger chart from the investor letter of the GPV mix of seller size. And you can see that as the years go on, they're able to increase that merchant seller size and be able to better the business. You can see that top dark gray area just get larger and larger each year, which is a very good sign. Now, I really feel that Square is able to adjust those rates. Nothing big has to happen or special. They're able to really adjust as time goes on with inflation or the landscape of business. They're able to change those agreements with merchants overall. So I feel that they can be competitive and keep up with the curve as time happens. Ecosystem is something that they've started to build with merchants. They not just help merchants with the card swipes, but they've sought out to help them in a lot of other ways and be able to digest that information very easily. And that's what's going to really retain the customers that have joined Square. And that's where I feel that Square will actually come out ahead and faster than some of the other competitors. You can see that Square actually has a lot of bigger players and competitors that are also doing things. So Square will really have to keep up the pace in order to survive. Cash App will also help offset some of the other costs, such as the smaller transactions that are happening that aren't very high in purchase volume. Cash App really helps individuals and businesses when it comes to spending, saving, and investing the money. You could say that Square has an ace up their sleeve. I found this out when I dug into their 10K presentation. Their Bitcoin revenue from a year ago is over 200%. This is just incredible. You don't often see this on a 10K financial report. So to see this in Square when they're a much smaller size company than say PayPal or Visa, which is a 400 and some billion size company, that Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency and will most likely become the norm in the future. The big question is how quickly. Everybody wants to move to digital money so they don't have to worry about carrying cash or have to worry and rely on money in a traditional bank. So when you see 200% increase on a revenue type in this type of form, that just simply means it's tripled. And this is just incredible for a small company. And you want to keep an eye on this because it's really going to propel that business forward. Now, when you see this number of around 500 million, this is a quarter of all of the revenue that Square made in 2019. Very significant part considering they only have about 3 or 4 main areas of how they get their revenue. So here is the chart that I saw with Square and their Bitcoin revenue. They're allowing people to buy and sell Bitcoin in the Cash app, and Bitcoin is still very popular and kept up on by investors. At the time of this recording, it's around $8,800 per share. Used to be up around $20,000 per share. So cryptocurrency is such a popular topic right now, and everyone's just waiting to see how quickly it's going to be coming to the masses. Some of the competitors of Square is PayPal, Stripe, SumUp, Clover, and even Pay Anywhere. Some of these you might have heard of, such as PayPal or Stripe. Some of these other ones are not as well known, but they're there. They're also helping businesses and seeking to become top dogs. So Square can't get too complacent. They're going to have to really step up their game and keep their foot on the pedal in order to keep up with all of these competitors. Square is something that I really like to keep an eye on. As an entrepreneurial minded person, Square is something that appeals to me because there was a big problem. Entrepreneurs or small businesses wanted all of the business possible. And at that time, when Jack Dorsey and other small businesses wanted to accept card payments, it was very hard unless they went with a traditional contract with, say, Visa or MasterCard, and it just charged them a lot of money. And so with technology catching up at that time with a mobile device and tablets, they were able to have all the components needed to accept card payments and do it themselves at a much lower cost. The way I see it, payments is universal. Everybody buys something at some time in their lifetime, and so it's happening every single day. And this is where I want to be able to make sure that my portfolio has some type of stock that's in the payment sector. And to really understand how a company gets their revenue is very important. I'll be keeping an eye on Square and how their business model works. The ideal payment provider is going to have a robust ecosystem. It's going to allow both individuals, retail investors, and businesses get up off the ground, easily manage their finances, and really be able to save for the future, so that with any business endeavor they do, they're going to succeed. So this is why I think Square is going to be around for the decades to come. Very excited to see all of this happen and unfold before my eyes. What do you think about Square? Is there something you love about it or dislike? Is there maybe a better platform out there that you use that you really enjoy? Hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel. It will really help me out and mean a lot to me. And do hit that bell icon, so if you want to see the videos that I upload right away, then that will be possible. Well, that's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.